Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War with the Great War mod. We're playing as Austro-Hungarian Empire in World War I. Last time around we managed to take down a Russian army, and we also preemptively attacked the Italians and took Venice. Since then, I've gone ahead and end turn, and what happened there was the Italian fleet got mobilized and attacked our port. So a lot of our trade is now blocked, which is bad. However, we took over this trade port, so we're getting a bit of trade out of there. The Italians under Luigi Codorna is actually moving to Milan rather than trying to attack Venice. So we'll see if we can push through, maybe, even, and take northern Italy as well. Who knows? Rebellion has not yet come underway in Serbia, but it's gonna be one more turn or so until they arrive. Over here, the Russians have... I think the Russians sabotaged this village. So they burnt down this village. And the Bursilov managed to outmaneuver us and has put himself in between us and the village. We're gonna have to go ahead and attack him and take him out. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and do that. So we'll be able to bring in our reinforcement. Now at this point, we outnumber the Russians only about 200 men, but note how much artillery the Russians have. So Bursilov has managed to acquire 5 batteries. That's a lot of guns, and that's going to be difficult for us to dislodge. So any kind of advance on the Russians will have to be done with very... we will have to be very cautious advancing on the Russians, because this could lead to absolute disaster. With that said, let's go ahead and play the battle. The reinforcement army has made it onto the field, and we've got the Russian army right over there. The Russians started to advance, and unfortunately not all of their guns got broken crossing these trenches. So most of the guns are intact. Now we can see they're actually deploying them. So any chance of trying to advance against this massive line of artillery is going to be very difficult indeed. Now my artillery that's coming in from the reinforcement is in fact able to bombard the enemy. The enemy is now able to bombard me, most likely towards the infantry. At this long range though, it seems like they're not... well, they are actually killing quite a few. Let's move back and try not to get destroyed. So far the Russians are just sitting there, waiting for us to advance. Which is okay by me, because I'm slowly actually gaining artillery superiority. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell this artillery to target right over there. Maybe we can get that artillery piece, get both those. We still have a lot of enemy artillery pieces to deal with. I kind of built a defensive area here, since these guys can move without being seen. Let's move him first. And then I think what we'll do is we'll try to march... trying to march the army, something like that. Now, since I'm gonna have to move the artillery to be certain, we're gonna have to move them around like that to avoid getting run down. And maybe, just maybe, I can get my cavalry into this position. Not the lancers though. The lancers, so depleted, we'll hide them over there. We've got another artillery piece right over here. Not an artillery piece, a cavalry unit, which is going to be hidden in similar location over there. I have been specifically trying to hit this piece. With no luck, we've only been able to hit about one of their soldiers. You know, fire at will instead. Fire at that infantry troop ahead of it. Oh, they're still able to fire at this unit. Now they are splitting up and firing on these. Let's advance. And see if we can't get these guys. One of these units need to move up, because otherwise it's... Now we're losing too many men with these two units stuck inside of each other. Let's have everyone run, actually. Well, not these. Not the sneaky units. Okay, artillery ready. Let's move over there. Coming in with the cavalry over here is suicide. But my hussars over here could possibly... It would be a suicide charge though, but it would possibly take out one of their batteries. And that would put me at an advantage in terms of the amount of guns. These two units have lost heavy amount of men as they move through here, through the enemy's barrage. Russian lancers moving out to attack. And as the enemy forces slightly moving to the side, they're actually going to move in within the artillery range. Okay, you're going to have to stop right there. And you two are going to have to stop right there. And then you guys. Oh, he's actually coming up on this plateau. Alright, nice. These guys are firing at him. And he's not going to be able to get through. But there was the plateau here that I kind of missed. He's moving. He is actually moving through. Come on. Right, nice. Okay, keep on advancing, guys. Keep on advancing. Let's see about getting at this Russian line and start attacking them. My artillery somewhere over there seems nice. My artillery pummeling this area. I wish I could move them forward. Let's see about getting the hussars forward now. We're about coming within rifle range pretty soon. So we should be able to cause enough distraction in among the enemy troops, so the cavalry should be able to make it. They're riding as hard as they can. I think what we'll just do is suicide it straight in there, just cause confusion, and then as soon as that has happened, we'll charge forward the infantry. Well, exactly at the same time, or try to at least. Okay, the enemy is advancing into our fire over there. Here comes the cavalry. Fire at will. Charge! right when the general is there as well. We might be able to get him. All the Russian troops are actually moving to counter the attack over there.
Our men are running for.
Oh, yeah, the cavalry unit was broken. But actually most of the units survived, but I guess the artillery shock right there. The enemy general got wounded. Okay, how's it going over here? Seems to be going fine. Oh, these artillery pieces are now coming under fire. We are within range. Deploy them. It's going fine. These troops coming in from the flank is absolutely murdering that troop. And the guys over here are doing fine. And we are within range to fire on the enemy's artillery. I'm gonna get one unit up here, so we can... Actually, we'll try to advance all of these. As there's no infantry actually guarding those cannons right now. Oh, the enemy's pulling back over here. That means that we pull forward. See if you can get on the high hill there. And as we advance... Oh, now our artillery behind us there from the original army is now starting to fire. Hold right there and open fire on the enemy. And soon we'll be able to open fire here as well.
We have killed their generals. Now they must break.
Bursilov just got shot down. This is his own fault, being that close to the front. I forgot I even told... When did I tell these guys to move here? Tell the dragoons to hold fire, otherwise they're gonna shoot into the hussars. Flanking group, advance even further. The hussars charged in. Get the dragoons to follow in to the attack. Here they come. And the shock might just be able to break those Russian units, but there's so many more Russian soldiers coming in to join that fight. Ooh, concentrate artillery. Why are... You know what? Bayonet charge, get rid of them. You guys get up here on the hill instead and focus on these guys. We broke one of the units. I don't know if we're gonna be able to break any more. Let's push through. Let's push through. Focus the artillery over here instead. You know what? Retreat the cavalry, retreat the cavalry. We're about to lose them otherwise. Let's make sure that they survive this battle. Okay, all the Russians are now retreating. Panic ensues. Takes a lot more effort for my troops to take out the enemy's bloody artillery than it does their troops. The question now is, what kind of rebellion are we gonna see coming against us? Because my armies are very depleted now at this point. So that could be very, very dangerous. The Russians trying to rally to no avail, and there goes the last Russian unit. So another great victory for the Austro-Hungarian Empire, however a very costly one. A very costly one, but an even more costly one for Russia. And it kind of leaves this part of Russia open to us. Now I have spotted troops being recruited over in Kiev, so it's not completely open to advance on Kiev, but it's become a lot easier if we want to go that way. With that said, let's go ahead and go back to the campaign map and take a look at the statistics of this battle. Russian headquarters overlooking the situation. An absolute slaughter of Russian troops. But then again, we lost a lot of men also. I mean, because of all the bloody guns that the Russians had. Oh, there's a single Russian soldier running over here. Oh, he is 1st Regiment of Artillery Field Guns old. There's only one guy left. He's running away. Here's the statistics of the battle. We deployed 2,700 men. We lost 900, leaving 700, well, 1,800 roughly of our men. The enemy deployed 2,450, losing 2,064, leaving only 390 men left. All of our units are intact. Highest killers goes to Imperial Infantry, then Field Gun, Imperial Infantry, Light Howitzer. Surprised that a lot of these battles aren't completely dominated by my artillery. No surprise that they end up high, but oftentimes it's an infantry unit that gets the highest kills. With that said, we might want to pursue and completely destroy him. Now there's a risk here for my cavalry units. No, there wasn't actually. Superior General for the Archduke of Austria. Oh, he's just not able to get in. Oh, we're able to... as we're able to move into the town, we're gonna stop it from revolting. It would have been just one more turn, and then it would have been revolting. Next turn, I'm guessing we're gonna have to put down a rebellion in Serbia. Let's go ahead and end turn and see what the enemy has in store for us. Enemy raids split, so they raid my other port. Now, most of my trade is actually coming out of this port, so it wasn't that bad. Still bad though. Re-implementation of mortars. Letter of demand from Serbia. They burnt down the college. They're very unhappy. Recruitment report. So more troops being recruited in Croatia. A lot of these Bosnian-Herzegovinian troops being recruited. And I'm moving down here. The question is where the rebel army spawns. Might be able to attack these and take them out one by one, which wouldn't be great. We have towns being built up. One in Bohemia, one in up here. So at this point I have the warehouse, factory or large town. Warehouse could be good because that will increase the replenishment in this region, which would very much be needed. With that, I think we're actually gonna try to move one of the armies back. This one is actually able to just barely get it back. Replenishment rate becomes greater, it becomes moderate for a lot of troops. Then I think the cavalry should probably join them. And this army is still able to hold down the province. So that's good. And these guys will replenish, so that we might be able to continue up to Kiev. It's going to cost me 500 to repair that town. It's not that bad, so we're going to do it. We need to dislodge these guys. Another problem I have is the Italian Navy, which is here in Taranto, is not moving out to fight me. So I'm wondering if I should send away some of my ships to make sure that the Italians have an advantage here. So right now the Italians got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ships. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I send 2 of my ships away to, say, blockade this port instead. I wonder what kind of ship they have here in Syracuse. This should possibly lure the Italian fleet out to meet us. The question is if I am able to win the battle. If not, that's a great blow towards... Maybe I should recruit some extra ships. They take 8 turn though, most of them. Except for the light cruiser. 10 for the dreadnought battleship. And they're also very expensive. This region might need to be built up as well, but there's also other stuff that might need built up. Expand the artillery foundry here. Just to be able to... Oh, now we can get mortars. Nice. Let's question what to build. Also, one of the things that I need is these airfields. Because I want another aircraft over here, and I possibly want another aircraft in Italy. You know what? Let's spam airfields. Let's get as many airfields as possible. So in 6 turns we'll have loads more, and hopefully we'll be able to spawn a lot of aircraft. Right, there's nothing really more I can do. We'll end turn, we'll see if the Italian fleet wants to come out and face us. I wonder, if they move within reinforcement range and then they attack. Might not be too great. We might want to move just so that this fleet cannot join. I think that's good. Right, let's see if the Serbians want to come out and fight. Just as I predicted, reducing my force actually lures the Italian fleet out. They outnumber us by 1 ship. In terms of the different classes, we have 1 dreadnought battleship. They have 1 dreadnought battleship. They have a destroyer. They have light cruisers. I think my force is actually stronger than that. I've got 3 of the pre-dreadnought battleships. He's only got 2. So I think just as this kind of predicts a slight edge to me. With that said, let's go ahead and play the naval battle. The naval battle is about to begin. We can see our... right now it's actually beginning. The dreadnought battleship is opening fire on the enemy. And then we're receiving return fire as well. So you can see that they've gone through quite the effort of remodeling the ships. Trying as much as possible to make them look like battleships. But of course it's a very tall order to turn kind of the old big oak ships of the Napoleonic Wars into, you know, early 1900s battleships. The naval battles are very deadly because you take a lot of damage. So it's all about being able to maneuver in a way that you're able to lay down superior fire upon the enemy. More so than, or it's maybe what I should say, it's more important than ever. It was obviously important in vanilla as well. Now I'm actually being able here to kind of do a kind of a Trafalgar strategy where we are lying in line and the enemy is rolling in one by one into our murderous fire. And I'm really happy to see that the Andrea Doria class battleship or dreadnought that the Italians have pushed forward as their lead ship is more or less entirely out of gun and crew, because we've focused so much on it to absolutely just cut it to pieces. If we're lucky, the little cargo ship might go ahead and surrender, and we can take that and use that for our own purpose. They have two cargo ships. One called Libra and the other one called Etna. And then we've got Umbria, light cruiser. And you can see that we are able to lay more guns on them than they are on us, because a few of the ships are not even firing right now, while I got my entire fleet firing. One of our ships suffered heavy damage, sinking. It's actually not lost any cannons or any crew, but it seemed to have suffered a devastating shot underneath a water line, and it's taking in water. And you can kind of see, if you go down here, you can kind of see how it's starting to turn a little bit. We cannot even I cannot tell it to repair, and it's sinking quite fast, in fact. Fire at will then. Oh, look at how it tilts in the water now. And it's sunk. Which is not that great, but at the same time, we're looking over at the Italian fleet. Their admiral has surrendered. There's only one crew member on board. Now there's 0 because he jumped off the single one that was on board. So now it's a ghost ship that's on fire. The cargo ship has surrendered. This one might surrender soon as well. The Umbria light cruiser is sinking, with its crew struggling to get off the ship. But we still have some of the pre-dreadnought class ships. So the fight is not over yet. The enemy still has 4 functioning ships. And they could definitely still do a lot of damage to us. I'm sending my admiral and this other pre-dreadnought battleship to move up against them. These guys have slightly turned to the point where they're not actually directly turned towards the enemy. Let's go ahead and change that. Lovely broadside there brought by these 2 ships. And we can see how the health on this one is slowly dissipating. I'm really hoping... the enemy cargo ship has sunk. We still have 1 Italian. He's gonna go down with the ship. He's just gonna stand there. The battle continues. Let's slightly drive the ships up like that. And now you have moved out of range, so you need to speed up to get back into the fight. It's 4 versus 4. We have the small destroyer class back here. I mean, I'd say it's quite certain that I will win. But if we're not able to, you know, kind of quickly do more damage on the enemy, it might very well be that we stand to lose a lot more of our ships. They are heavily destroyed though. So this one only has 15 cannons left and 31 crew. This one's 55 with 112, 21 with 44 crew, and this one's 24 cannons with 50 men on board. Let's see if we can maneuver you so you can fire as well. Guess the enemy's out of range. Now we're actually in a pretty bad spot because we're lined up as a really big target. I'm gonna stop this one, let this one pass, and then let this one pass. Or maybe not, because this one is not doing too well. We'll halt him right there and we'll let this one pass. Okay, the destroyer has now surrendered. We only have the armored cruiser and the pre-dreadnought class that we need to take out. Let's turn into them, in fact. So here they can lie and fire on the enemy. Still, that pre-dreadnought, it's 50 guns and 100 crew left. At the same time, this ship is turning straight towards them. The light cruiser, Franz Joseph I. Just steamroll past the enemy here in the back, and we'll be able to blow them out of the water. Oh, he's targeting my damaged ship. Let's have that one actually move away. Oh, there goes the enemy's admiral. Exploded into 1,000 pieces and is now sinking to the bottom of the sea. We're about to come within really close range of this one. Laying really close range fire. The admiral is right there. He was right there, he just got exploded. And now the bigger ships are about to turn their guns on them. I'm gonna stop the admiral right there. Ooh, the armored cruiser has just surrendered. No surprise there. And now the two big ships are laying their fire. They're actually aiming for this one, but they're hitting this one. Not entirely sure what his plan is or how he's trying to escape. He must have a pretty strong hull, because we've peppered this guy for quite a while And he's still going. He's still going strong. I wonder if no boarding has been disabled. Oh, there a guy flew out. Man overboard. Oh, that little ship is back. It's only got 4 cannons, 9 crew, and they still want to fight. How are you still alive? And how are you still alive? It doesn't look like the enemy's gonna planning on surrender anytime soon. The dying moments of the battle, we lost another smaller ship. Looks like the enemy is trying to ram me. I'm not entirely sure what he's planning. He's only got 14 crew and 6 guns left. Definitely looks like he's gonna ram, or trying to ram me. He's on fire, he surrendered. And with that, we won the battle. And here we have the result of the battle. We lost 2 of our ships, while the enemy lost 6 of theirs. 1 actually remained, and 1, the last one, was actually captured, a armored cruiser. And to replenish our loss, we're gonna take that on. Also because it takes a long time, as we saw, and it's very expensive to build the ships. So we definitely want to take that on. Right, very good. And the enemy fleet goes to the bottom. We have full-scale rebellion in Serbia. General available, ancillary gained, regiments recruited, and a town in Moravia being built. So the Serbian rebels have spawned right over here. That can't be all of them, I don't think. Now there is the main Serbian army. Machine guns. I don't even have machine guns. Tons of troops. This guy will be able to join here, and this one will be able to block them at the bridge. So the smaller group won't be able to get there, but given that I've already done 2 battles for this video, it's high time we ended it. There's a lot of other stuff, but I think we'll go through that in the next video. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye.